Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's late night cast again. I am your caster, Dead Latin, here with Jax Taxman. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's a great night. Hoping to see some good HOTS action.
Exactly, here in Division A, where we have Luxorian Sun versus n0b0 Esprouts. Two teams, unfortunately, on opposite sides of the standings. Going into
Yep, that's right. We've got a game record of 3-12 on the season for Luxorian Sun and a game record of 12-3 for n0b0 Esprouts. So exactly the reverse of each other.
Yeah, and right now, Luxorian Sun really needs to get some points on the board if they want to make a last-second push towards playoffs here, as they only have 5 more games remaining. So, and being in that last place spot, tied for last place, but with 2 more games remaining than the second-to-last team, they really need to kick into gear now. And what better game to do that than this match against the #1 team?
Yep, it's if you want to make your way to the playoffs, you're gonna have to beat some good teams, and if you make the playoffs, you're gonna have to fight some teams like the #1 seed, perhaps. And so here they're gonna have to face the #1 seed. Pretty much, you think that their playoffs start now. They're gonna need a lot of big wins to close this season off if they want any chance of making it to the dance at the end.
Exactly. And for Luxorian Sun, we have a very tightly packed top of this Division A so far, with Luxorian Sun being in the lead, albeit though only by 2 points against Gimme the D Shield. So they really need to put some points on the board here and get a domination, especially as the Division A has been very tightly contested in ways of haven't been a lot of dominations, but this is their chance to get one. As we look at the map picks here real quick, we see that Luxorian Sun was able to win the coin toss, ban out Cursed Hollow. n0b0 Esprouts then went ahead and banned out Towers of Doom and picked Volskaya, where we are going for this first game.
All right, and it looks like both teams are ready for the draft, so we're just gonna go ahead and get ourselves into that now. And what is interesting for these two teams is that they clearly have a ban for their map bans, and they are not straying from it. n0b0 Esprouts has banned Towers of Doom in every match they have played this season, including this one. Whereas for Luxorian Sun, they have in all but one of their matches, and in that one match, they banned Towers of Doom. So neither team liking Towers of Doom, we will not be seeing it here today. And we're starting off with Volskaya Foundry. Luxorian Sun did prioritize that first pick over the map pick, though. It'll be interesting to see if they have something up their sleeve that gives us a clue as to why.
Yeah, and a Leoric first ban is interesting. He is like a mid-tier, I'd say, solo laner right now, with Amayev being a very strong ban compared to him. But can you talk a little bit about why maybe they'll ban Leoric Lily?
Leoric Lily, that's really interesting because the Leoric, you'd think there's something going on, like that's a percent health, or maybe it's just they're scared of the Leoric from n0b0 Esprouts, but it does not look like they have played Leoric this season, and it has not been frequently banned against them. So I'm kind of interested to see if they're scared for some reason. You see that they big beefy heroes. Oh, and then n0b0 goes ahead and bans out the Cho'Gall. You think maybe are you looking for the Cho'Gall if you ban out the Leoric?
Yeah, and it's strange bans like Leoric that will tip a team off to just ban out Cho'Gall and take the safe play. Meanwhile, first pick Orphea, very effective on this map as she has some good. However, a Nubrak Ana is going to try to punish that pick, especially if a Nubrak being able to burrow in on her.
I really like the early Anubrak Ana. Ana is really good right now. This is a good Ana map, and Anubrak is so good right now. And Garrosh coming out from the other side, which means we probably will not see Diablo, which is quite interesting, although Anubrak and Garrosh are both quite good tanks in their own right.
Yeah, not a lot of walls on the point, at least, for Diablo. You really have to go in order to try to get some wall hits with him, but the Hanzo also to come out in order to secure a very strong backline for Luxorian Sun. With that, it should be interesting though to see if they utilize this Garrosh more to protect the backline, throw people, especially the Nubrak, out, or to throw, be a more aggressive Garrosh looking for the throws in.
Now, one thing I'm interested in, and I'm just gonna, this throws back to a few picks ago, with the Leoric ban and then the Cho'Gall ban in response. What's interesting is that Luxorian Sun has now had Cho'Gall banned against them 3 times, including today, and they have not played Cho'Gall a single time. So I'm interested to know if they have it in their HOTS match history, because it seems like these teams are afraid of Luxorian Sun whipping out that Cho'Gall, despite the fact that they have not done it yet. But who knows?
And the final, or 2 of the final 3 picks for n0b0 Esprouts is going to be Arthas Raynor. The Arthas in the offlane is interesting. It's going to be a tank who can engage with a Nubrak and provide some CC on that backline that's very mobile backline. And Raynor's going to be able to go off of the slows with Arthas and really be able to deal some damage if they're able to successfully engage on that backline.
Now, this is a fairly standard comp for n0b0 Esprouts. Hanzo, Arthas, Raynor are 3 of their most played heroes, so Luxorian Sun did steal the Hanzo away, and now the Mouthail, I like that response a lot to the Arthas. But that Arthas, Raynor, those are 2 heroes that they love to get. They have picked Arthas in 6 games and Raynor in 5 out of the, I believe there's only 8 games on record here on this, sorry, 12 games on record on the stats page that are, because the last couple of games have not been updated. So that's a large percentage of their games. That's half their games that Arthas has been played in. They love Arthas.
And then the last pick, Jaina, in order to really try to get some burst damage on this Mouthail if he goes in team fights, although he will definitely be dominating the solo lane against the Arthas matchup-wise. And then we've also, to note, the last pick, Deckard, there, shows that they're going to be going for a zone-out comp on the side of Luxorian Sun in order to try and basically hold their half of the point and make sure that if you're going to fight into us, you're going to take a ton of damage for it. Meanwhile, n0b0 Esprouts has a ton of dive potential to where if they get onto that backline of Luxorian Sun, it's going to be a very bad day for them.
Yeah, so what I really like here from the side of Luxorian Sun is I like that they were able to take away that Hanzo, which seems to be a comfort pick for n0b0, and get that Mouthail to really beat up on the Arthas in the solo lane. I think that he should win that matchup pretty hard. But what I like from the side of n0b0 is that this team, it's like they've got the Raynor Jaina, which is such a classic combo because Raynor can do the extra damage disabled heroes when he takes Ace in the Hole at 1, and Jaina has so many slows. Anubrak is such a good tank, and Arthas has great peel for Ana because Ana, you really have to protect her to make sure she can keep getting that great healing output out. So I really like the way that this team kind of all folds together, and it'd be interesting to see if they can, on the side of Luxorian Sun, they can poke through this really beefy, because they can kind of turtle from n0b0 here. They've got a bunch of frontline, and they just kind of protect their Ana group up. It'll be interesting to see if Luxorian Sun can kind of break through that, because they don't have a whole lot of frontline, only the Garrosh.
Yeah, I think I actually prefer the draft on the side of n0b0 Esprouts, that Ana is basically uncontested unless she really messes up and gets thrown by Garrosh. The only person who could really go in and harass her is Mouthail and Orphea, but even those are very risky for them to go all the way back for Ana. And she's going to be able to heal through a lot of that initial damage in order to get onto that backline of Luxorian Sun. So I believe that they're going to have enough heals to take this game number 1.
Alright, we're getting into the game here. It looks like we have a temporary disconnect, so hopefully he will be back up in time to rejoin us. Our teams will ask for a pause if they need it. And we are getting ready to go.
And meanwhile, on the side of Luxorian Sun, we have Lexoltolen, sorry, on the Orphea. We have Bot Mouthail for now, Bay ST8 on the Garrosh, Little Bex on the Deckard Pain, and Fatal Rampage on the Hanzo.
And over on the red side, playing for n0b0 Esprouts, we've got Axon playing Jaina. We've got Virtuoso playing n0b0, Ray playing Arthas, Bernie Byrne playing Ana, and Richard Gere playing Raynor.
Surprised the pause has not been asked for. Malthael is not back in this match, but it looks like they're just gonna go with bot Malthael for now as both teams poking. Deckard with a nice triangle as Luxorian goes in looking for the Jaina, but Virtuoso is able to turn around onto him. Now he's getting bursted down and goes down there to the Raynor.
Wow, that's a really nice counter kill. You saw how low Jaina was falling, but they managed to turn it and get that Orphea. We see Malthael rejoining for a second, only to leave again. I am also surprised they've not asked for a pause here.
Meanwhile, Little Bex is looking for a scroll. However, they're not able to get it yet, and Garrosh is missed, so n0b0 is just going to back off here and go back mid.
You have to wonder if the lack of ask for a pause is the fact they're confident he rejoined. It does look like he's stabilized now, or if they're just making fun of him in chat so that they can say, hey, if the bot Malthael was doing better than you.
Yeah, the throw onto Axon's going to do a lot of damage. However, not really enough as Garrosh was just by his own, being a nuisance. However, he's looking actually for a second throw, but Axon's going to just back up there and let Virtuoso go ahead and tank it for him as Richard Jr. is able to take the turret by himself and get an...
Yes, we had the Ana go down with the Raynor. We had two on the camp for a while, which was very impressive that the n0b and Jaina held their own in the top lane, because we did have both Ana and Raynor out of the fight to take their turret. And so now Luxorian Sun has to respond by taking their own turret, but they're lit. And we see either a Garrosh kill or a rotation onto support the top lane.
And they're able to get enough burst damage in order to get the Garrosh down while we see Luxorian Sun just now picking up their turret. It should be interesting to see if n0b0 is just going to instead try to deny some. No, they are going to indeed start the support camp. Maybe? No, it's just Ana. Go ahead and start it. No, Virtuoso, yes. So yes, n0b0 is going to start the support camp. However, Garrosh will be getting back here in time.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see they kind of waited just long enough that now it's an even talent tier fight and an even person fight. Although Arthas is up and Malthael is still in the bot lane, they do have a numbers advantage here.
Virtuoso is going in with Bay, throwing out the Arthas. Are they able to get back at a point? No, and that's a huge scroll of ceiling there by the Deckard, as Richard is just trying to get enough damage. Can he get it? The finishing blow? He can get on Luxorian. Richard looking for more, but is forced to back up here. But still, pretty much an even trade, even with the item being picked up here by Luxorian.
Yes, the big loss there for the side of Luxorian is that they lost the turret, and so now both turrets are being held by n0b0, which is a big advantage, but Luxorian does still have the luxury, if you will, of having that support camp. So we'll have to see what happens. They do have to wait for Orphea to get back before they can engage, so it'll be early percentage going over the red side here.
Yeah, right now n0b0 just taking their side on the point, as Luxorian is taking the chance to get a little bit more soak here, as they are behind on the race to 7. Axon going in on Luxorian, but may have bit off a little bit more than he can chew. No, he's able to get out safely before Bay's able to get the engage, as now Luxorian is looking to get onto this point and make their presence, but already they have 5 bodies, but now Gravecrawler is rotating up and is not able to get any damage, as Bay just throws out Virtuoso, but Ray is looking to be in trouble here as Luxorian is going in, but is re-engaged upon there by Virtuoso. Nice knockup as they're able to turn around onto Orphea, as overtime now picks. Ray is very low here. Bay is going in, but the damage is just too much as he's forced to get out, as he's rooted, and Virtuoso is able to get the finish off, and they're looking for now Gravecrawler going low here, and Virtuoso is able to get the finish off. Fatal Rampage retreated towards the side of n0b0 Esprouts' side of the map, as Axon's going to go ahead and say thank you very much for that and get yet another kill.
Yep, and so we currently only have the n0b0 in the Protector. We only have one. Ana's coming up. She may get in. Oh, it looks like Arthas will finally get in. But the real problem there on that fight, so Malthael was just pushing out bot wave to get the soak and get some wave clear pressure before he rotated up, which was a nice play. But the problem was, once they got there, they didn't win the fight that hard, so even when they were winning, they never forced n0b0 off the point, so that percentage was just building and building, and so they got the Protector for free as soon as they took the lead in the fight. So they had to try to stay in some desperate attempt to contest, and it just led to more and more deaths, and that made the lead really start to become very sizable from the side of n0b0. This is by no means over, but it's a full level lead, and they're pushing down this fort here. They may be able to get it, but it looks like they'll back off. There are only 3 seconds left. So it looks like Luxorian will hold for the fort, but that was a very strong first protector and a full level lead to start the game off from n0b0.
And that was a very good first protector as Boy actually finds Bernie Burn on the Ana, and they're able to get him down, and now Ray may look for trouble. No, they're deciding to back out as now Richard is able to get the re-engage with Virtuoso, looking for Bay here. See if they can be able to heal through that Deckard healing. Deckard able to get, looks like just enough healing, but they're being relentless with the chase. Boy, Bay actually turning back around. Richard cannot get the finish off there as Virtuoso also went in on Fatal Rampage on the Hanzo, but was not able to get the finishing blow there too, as they're able to get the pick and get a little bit closer. But now n0b0 is going to be able to pick up 10 here in just a moment.
And what's really scary from the side of Luxorian Sun is the fact that they were the ones that found the pick. They found the Ana, they caught her out, and they secured the kill, and no one died on their side. But I still felt terrified for them. I mean, they had to send people back. Deckard had to fall back, and that's not the kind of feeling you want to get after you get a pick. And they're still about a half level down now, which is good. They're soaking to get close to 10, but I don't know if they can contest the support camp down ults. I think they're just gonna have to give it.
Exactly, as Ray's actually looking for the contest here, but now they're just gonna have to back out. As we look at the ults here on both sides now, we see Nano Boost actually picked up by Ana, looking to go with the Jaina, who has Water Elemental there. But other than that, some pretty standard picks. Rainer's Raider being picked up there in order to get some more team fight damage. And then on the side of Luxorian Sun, looks like, again, some pretty standard picks. The only one to really note there is Stay a While and Listen. Is going to at least provide a little bit more peel for that backline.
Yeah, I really like the Nano Boost pick here. Eye of Horus is super good for the poke and the healing it provides, but the fact that you have that Jaina on the side, and also they've lost one member, and it was Ana herself who died there. So they've been doing a good job of staying very healthy in these fights. They haven't really been in huge danger of dying, and so if you think you don't necessarily need that extra healing from Eye of Horus, Nano Jaina is so scary. So I really like that pickup from the side of n0b0 here.
Yeah, and if we look to the stats right now, we see that Raynor and Jaina are both pretty much equal in hero damage, already with 13k. Meanwhile, Hanzo's the one leading the way. However, to note, it is Dread Orb for Orphea, so if she's able to get some stacks, she will be able to really increase that damage, especially if they're able to get to late game on the side of Luxorian.
Yep, and so looks like right now Malthael is just double soaking as they 4-man mid from the side of Luxorian. Arthas is stuck bot having to clear that wave. I'm not sure if he's going to try to double soak or if he will just, you know, say screw the wave, I'm going all the way to the top lane. Looks like both of these solo laners are going to make full rotate up. Malthael may try to poke in the meantime, but they will both be here for a 5-on-5 fight on the lane.
They were trying to burst down Virtual, but it wasn't enough with the Ana heals, and now they're able to turn around. Axelon able to get onto the Orphea. They do use the Cocoon onto Garrosh as well, as they're going on to Gravecrawler now, as he's rotated up, and yet again, Axon is able to get the kill. Now they're looking for Bay now too, and yet again, Axon able to get the finish and get this triple kill to start this next objective.
Yep, and you probably heard there was a nano boost out there onto Jaina. It was a little late in the fight, but it did help secure one of those kills. And that's what you're saying. Like, they lost nobody. They don't need the extra healing from the Eye of Horus right now, and they don't need the poke because they're just all up in your face. And that nano boost makes the Jaina so potent. It's such a huge threat, and that allows them to win team fights in a big way like we just saw.
Yeah, as we see, Hanzo is getting close to finishing his level 1 quest now with 4, and Garrosh already having finished his quest. We see though that if they're able to get those the power spike inside of Hanzo, that will help extremely being able to get that extra damage onto Q. Adds a lot to being able to try to force them out, as Ray's looking for this flank, but Luxorian's just going to give as they get some soak in mid and bot here with bot Malthael.
So Hanzo is currently, he has stacked everyone but Ana, and he is at 2 out of 3 on Ana. Bot Malthael is going to go down, and he used last rites on a mostly full health Arthas. That's not what you want to see from the side of Luxorian.
As n0b0 is looking for this mid fort now. as they get a healthy siege, especially now with Mouthdale gone, no longer able to get that percent health damage as they almost done with it. And they're gonna leave it just a little bit left, so they're able to rotate down here and get this crucial bot fountain to set up or bot well to set up the next objective.
Makes sense. They said, yeah, we could finish this, but then we're not sure we can get the well. We just want to make sure we get that well, give us the big advantage for the third point. So rotate down, you can finish off that mid fort later. It's a good play. Protector pop. Boy, there's a lot of ults coming out here.
Yeah, Jimmy finishing off that fort mid means that they have a brief time of a 4v4 with even talents. However, the turnaround by Ray is able to get the Deckard Pain, as now Bay, after getting cocooned, pops out in the middle of n0b0. So he is also going to get bursted down here by Richard Jarrett as they turn onto the fortification camp.
Yep, and there's a reason that right now n0b0 is sitting comfortably at the top of the standings for Div A, and it's fights like that. It's just when you pop out of that cocoon in the middle of the team, you're not going to survive. They're going to collapse on you, and you're going to go down, even if you're Garrosh, even if you have all that armor. And wow, Mouthdale falls too.
They bought Mouthdale trying to secure that kill on Ray, even though he had 90% of his health left. But it will not be enough, as n0b0 is just going to continue to snowball this lead now that they have 16, and Luxorian is going to have to get a desperation fight here, or else it might be over with this third objective already.
Yep, so we've got another item going to the side of n0b0, Esprouts. Ray on Arthas picking up that biotic emitter. We've got a Nubarak Virtuoso holding that turret. They've got Richard Gier on Raynor holding a turret, and then either Ana or Jaina will be picking up this turret, so they'll have 4 members with items compared to no members with items from the side of Luxorian Sun. And with a 16 advantage, they may just want to push the fight now. I mean, the point isn't going to be up until after there's been time for Luxorian to start to catch up in XP. If I'm them with the 16 advantage, I might try to look for a fight here. I mean, you have to group up for it, and Raynor's currently taking the camp, so it may be a second, but they do have a level of advantage, and this is the time you want to fight.
Yeah, especially because I don't think they're going to be able to get 20 before the point starts, unless they're able to get one more successful team fight. As they are looking up, but Richard had that Raider in the bush, is able to scout out the rotation, as instead they're going to actually be looking for this bot fort in order to soften it up for the next time, but it looks like Gravecrawler is caught.
Mouthdale in serious trouble. He will go down. That's huge for n0b0 to get that pick, and now they get this, but Raynor will fall. It's a counter engage. They're just a trading push, but n0b0 got the better end of it because they took down the fort, and as of now, Luxorian hasn't even taken the wall on the top.
Yeah, however, that means that Luxorian will get closer to 16, but n0b0 is looking to force the issue now as they get the last couple seconds of their level 16 advantage. Ray looking to engage here onto the back line, is able to, Virtuoso gets the knockup and the root. They're getting the burst damage down. Deckard able to get the stay a while just in time, but Garrosh is indeed cocooned. Jaina able to finish off Hanzo.
The Nano is out on Jaina. It looks like they're going to be able to finish off that Deckard. It looks like Garrosh and Orpheus will make a safe escape, but Deckard down, Hanzo down, and Jimmy is coming back up right now, so this will be a 5v3, no talent lead, but a huge mant advantage here, so the point should go over to n0b0 pretty easily, at least the first part of it.
As the kills go now to 17-2, as Bay is just trying to harass this camp now, make sure they don't give it up for free. As they actually do see Raynor and Jaina, we're not at the start of this fight, as they try to get an engage here onto Ray. However, Virtuoso gets a huge knockup, and they're able to get Mouthdale already. A big Hanzo arrow is able to get him stunned, but there's no damage to really follow up onto it, as they're able to also kill Garrosh and successfully take the fortification camp.
Yeah, I agree that I think it was a good call. Don't give it up for free, and especially since you know not everyone is there, you want to go contest that. But the thing is, it looked like they got a little desperate. They started to wonder, is this the last fight we'll have in the game? And so they went for it. They stayed in maybe a little longer than they should have. They lost some members, and now this is going to be big percentage and some nice push. That one turret looks like it'll go down. And it will, so n0b0 takes down an entire turret on that front wall of the bot keep, and they're threatening to have 20 here not long after they take the protector.
Yeah, I think that was kind of their fight. However, they had to take it right away as they saw Jaina and Raynor were not there. Instead, they waited, and by the time they engaged, Raynor and Jaina were able to rotate successfully into that lane, as now they're looking to potentially get a fight here before n0b0 was able to get 20 as they go in, but Garrosh is immediately cocooned. Big knock-up again by Virtuoso as the Dragon's Arrow comes out on Rage to get him off, but not before Nightcrawler goes down. As Jaina gets bursted down here, even with the nano boost, but she's able to not get away, but at the cost of the rest of the team on Luxorian Sun, as that is a 5-man team wipe.
And with the 20 advantage and this late game protector, I think this is going to be all she wrote for Luxorian Sun. This probably will be game 1 going over to n0b0, barring some incredible defense here. But what happened there with the Jaina, that ice block was perfectly timed, and it almost saved her life, but even though it didn't, the 5-for-1 trade is something you take any day of the week if you're n0b0. And but the ice block, I thought it was going to save her life, and she got it off right after she got thrown. That was a fantastic play by Axon. He will still go down, but great work on that ice block.
Is now the Protector sieging core here. As Luxorian just gets up, they're going to look for a desperation fight now to try to save core. Nightcrawler able to take down the turret, is looking to get in the backline, but they're not able to as the core is down to 9% already. And that will be game now.
There it is.
As n0b0 is able to take game number 1.
And you saw right at the end, Hyana threw out the nano boost onto Raynor. I think that was just a, let me use this one last time so we can get a little bit of extra damage to secure this keep. But very, very strong performance by n0b0 there in the first map, out killing them 24-3. And wow.
Yeah, a big first win there. As we look at the stats, we see Raynor did a ton of damage with 42,000, even without the nano boost, as he was able to beat Jaina, still with a massive amount of almost 38,000. Meanwhile, Hans on the other side, once he was able to get his Q quest done, was able to get up to 36k, but it just was not enough.
Yeah, I mean, you saw they were putting some damage out. I mean, those are not bad numbers. You can see there's not a huge disparity between the assassins on the side of Luxorian versus the assassins on the side of n0b0, but just it was finding the kills. It was just finishing the kills. You look, 24-3 tells a big story of how that game went. I mean, it looked very strong for n0b0 all the way through. And so we will have Luxorian Sun picking map pick for game 2, and they will be taking us to Infernal Shrine. So let's see. Infernal Shrine's pretty popular map. A lot of teams like this map for various reasons. I'm interested to see what they run here. Gul'dan always popular on this map.
Yeah, their comp was actually would work pretty well here as well, because it has a good amount of clear, as well as being able to just kind of space people out here. However, they're going to need to have some response to the dive that Virtuoso was able to put onto the backline. It was just, he got some insane knockups, 3 and 4 man knockups that were just able to turn a fight on a whim.
Yeah, I mean, the facts are, I mean, it's pretty simple. What we thought the reason that we thought that n0b0 would have the advantage going into that last game is because we didn't think that Luxorian Sun would be able to get in there and find the kills, especially on that Ana. And you saw the Ana die once near the earlier game where she got caught out on the rotation between top and mid, but that was it. Only 1 death from Ana, only 3 deaths in total. They could not break through that strong front line of n0b0 Esprouts, and that was what made the difference. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I would
just
like to
very well played.
see them get either a lot beefier front line there, as even though Malthael was able to win, bot Malthael was able to win the solo lane, just because of how strong he is, that you can play like a bot and still win a lane. But in a fight, he was really ineffective, both at being able to protect and really do any damage to the backline of n0b0 Esprouts before he got bursted down in fights.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that they had the disconnect problem several times, but they did not ask for a pause, so I'm going to assume that they are fine. But we will see if they need a break here. I'm not sure whether the issue was connection, computer, or otherwise. Um, but we will also it'll give the teams a chance here while we get the lobby ready to reset, breathe a little, think about what they want to pick into Infernal Shrines here for game number 2.
Yeah, and as we wait for this last member, we ourselves are going to take a little bit of a break while we wait for it. So we will be right back with game number 2 of n0b0 Esprouts versus Luxorian Sun. Don't leave just yet. We are back here. As we are about to get underway, the last members are just loading into the lobby now. As we have game number 2 on Infernal Shrines, do you have any insights, Jax, Taxman, on maybe some of the picks that these teams like to go to on Infernal?
Well, what's really interesting here is I thought perhaps you'd see like a Gul'dan or an Alex Straza, because those two are very traditional picks for these teams. But what I've seen is neither of these teams play a lot of either of those heroes. Actually, neither team has any Gul'dan play on record. Both teams, well, Luxorian Sun has 2 games of Alex Straws on record, while n0b0 Esprouts has 1, and all 3 of those games are from games on Infernal Shrines. They're still just a small portion of all of the games we've seen this round. So it'll be interesting to see if those still do become priority picks, or if they just let them go for other heroes they're more comfortable on in general.
Exactly. As we look to get this draft underway here, should be interesting to see what n0b0 goes with now that they have that first pick. If they're, we did see it should be interesting to see if they go again maybe with the Cho'Gall ban. That was a little bit weird. And then on the side of Luxorian Sun, we saw the Leoric and Lily bans. Maybe seeing, because there wasn't really anything they picked that would be countered by those heroes. So should be interesting to see if we have something that correlates with those bans like last game.
We are having a bit of a technical difficulty at the moment. We are unable to start the lobby due to one of our players. It says is opening a loot chest.
I mean, it is the event right now, so I don't blame him for trying to. But that might not be the best of time to do it. So unfortunately, it looks like he's gonna have to reset his pots.
uh,
This might just be Blizzard's way of trying to remonetize their game, make players buy loot boxes just to be able to play the game now.
Yeah, you must buy loot boxes to play the game. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's see if we make him an observer and make him a player. Well, this is interesting. We're gonna have him restart his HOTS. He'll be right back. All right, so here we are sitting on Infernal Shrines. Based on the last game, what do you think the plan of attack is for both these teams? Let's start with n0b0 Esprouts. In my opinion, I don't think they're going to change up a whole lot. It worked really well for them. They got a big win. Maybe be a little more careful on positioning because of the few picks. But I don't know. Did you see anything that you think they need to change to tighten up in the second game?
Not really. I mean, the Ana especially was uncontested. I'd actually like to see Luxorian ban out Ana, because I believe that might be a first pick priority for n0b0. Oh, it's either that or try to get a ton of dive to just even contest her and force her out of fights, as she was a huge reason why n0b0 was able to survive these strong engages by Luxorian Sun with some big scrolls, but at the same time not get any kills, as Ana was just able to sit in the back. And
we're gonna remake the lobby.
Ana was just able to sit back and get some heals even without Eye of Horus. So should be interesting to see if Luxorian does use the ban there, or if they continue to ban out Lily, who apparently is a very strong priority ban for them.
It is interesting, the Lily ban, because we saw Luxorian ban out Lily, but we saw the Rainer come out from n0b0, which is usually, you think that the team that's trying to pick Rainer is going to be the team that would ban Lily.
Exactly, and I think with the Arc ban they might have been going for Cho'Gall, and it was sniffed out again, another weird one. So it should be interesting to see what kind of bans they go for this time, especially because there's some strong picks on the side of n0b0 that kind of need to be responded to. Another one was a Nubrak, as we were saying earlier, getting some large knockups, and then just being able to take that Garrosh out of the fight and make that a 5v4 was very crucial in these team fights.
All right, looks like both our teams are ready. Are we? Believe we're ready. Quick match screen. Hold on. Okay.
I fear I might actually have to relog now, as I am having some technical difficulties on my side.
I have re-invited you.
And I am still not in the lobby. So we are actually going to go again to a quick break as we try to... Oh, never mind.
All right,
we've finally decided to work.
All right, we... Blizzard, please come back. We need you. We need both. We need these things fixed. I believe both teams are ready. We're going to go ahead and confirm. Okay, casters are ready. I believe I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am finally ready and in the lobby. So let's get draft for game number 2 underway.
The anticipation has been building. Something amazing better happen, or I'm going to be very disappointed.
I'm hoping, honestly, for Cho'Gall to be let through, and that's been the plan for Luxorian. I love a good Cho'Gall game, and although Infernal is, like, not his strongest or weakest maps, but it's one that he could definitely do damage in, just with having a lot of Shrine Clear and having 2 close lanes to soak.
And there's the Maiev ban coming out. It seems like, to me, from looking at these teams, that n0b0 just hates playing against Maiev. They've got, oh, interesting, Lost Vikings ban. Okay. Uh, n0b0 Esprouts has banned Maiev 7 times coming into this game. Let's make it 8. Luxorian has played the Lost Vikings once, did not win that game, has never banned it before, and n0b0 has not played it themselves, so I think that's a little curious that they decided to ban it here. Zeratul ban, more traditional. Maiev, Zeratul, both very strong assassins, and Zeratul is n0b0's second most banned hero behind Maiev, so they know what they don't want to play against. Morales ban from Luxorian.
Yeah, I don't know if it's memes or if they're planning on going like Abathur, which is, and so they don't want the Lost Vikings counter. As Virtuoso just gonna go ahead and pick up that Anub'arak. He was very strong on that last game with both his cocoons and knockup, so look to see him repeat that performance again this game.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know what Luxorian has in store here. Maybe they think this is a lost game at this point because they're playing against the #1 seed, and if they think that, then okay, there's the Alexstrasza Diablo. That's a strong pick. So, I mean, that looks like something you'd pick. You're playing for real. Diana pick coming out. Oh boy. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
if they were going for Alexstrasza, very strong on this map, and I don't blame them. However, one of those 2 ban slots could have been used on Ana, even if you're kind of memeing on the other team. Very strong ban,
So
as she's able to
now
almost completely counter Alexstrasza.
I'm thinking, and there's the Rainer coming out, which makes sense. They do like Rainer. They did last game. I'm thinking maybe Luxorian thinks we don't want to fight the Lost Vikings because we think our opponents actually can play them and will play them well if they do. Um, and they think we want to pick Alex so we get rid of Morales because she can knock us out of the healing circle with the grenade, and there's the Cho'Gall ban coming in again. But if that's the thought that you're banning counters to Alex, I certainly would be banning Ana before I would ban Morales. I'm a little confused, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and then the Lucio ban, just a reminder, Lucio Chromie is banned already in NGS right now for the 2 weeks after the rework. So again, another basically thrown away ban on the side of Luxorian, but Kerrigan Zul'jin is a very strong on this map.
It also, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that Lost Vikings, Lieutenant Morales, and Lucio together alphabetically in the roster. So it looks like they may have just picked a hero and banned 3 straight from there, but
I think you might have actually cracked the code there.
uh, Junkrat Imperious, okay. I might have liked to see a Jaina here instead of the Junkrat. It worked very well for them last game with the Rainer, but I mean, they're playing well. Junkrat is a perfectly fine hero on this map, so I assume they know what they're doing. Rhaegar, huh?
No, Rhaegar is like not the worst offlaner actually. He's one of the few supports that managed to survive the support apocalypse with some clear. So that's actually not the worst, especially because he's able to. It should be interesting to see if they go ancestral here, or might actually be a bloodlust Rhaegar, which I'd be super excited to see.
I guess, yeah, you get some value off the Zul'jin and off the Kerrigan. I could see it. It could be done. Now, my problems here in the draft from the side of Luxorian is the fact that they let the Ana through to pick out when they picked Alex. Um, the fact that last game they just got beat up on by not having enough front line, and they still don't have a whole lot of front line. And the fact that I think they threw away their bans, in part at least. I mean that Lucio ban is certainly a threat.
Who knows though? They might get that alphabetical ban luck that we just don't know about, and may become
But
meta.
I will say, I think there's something going on here. It's a little spicy. We'll see. We'll have to see. Alright, and we're getting into the game now. Getting ready for it.
On the side of Luxorian Sun this game, we will have Little Vex on the Alexstrasza, Fatal Rampage on the Rhaegar, Swoopster on the Zul'jin, Bay on the Diablo, and Luxoltalin, sorry, it's just going to be Lux on the Kerrigan.
Alright, and playing for n0b0 Esprouts, we've got Ray on Imperious, we've got Virtuoso back on Anub'arak, Bernie Burn on Ana again, Axon on the Junkrat, and Richard Gere playing Raynor for the second game in a row. Here we go. Game 2.
So we get a slash dance to start here on the side of Fatal Rampage. And the taunt, however, they're not able to punish it on the side of n0b0, or even respect it with a dance and taunt of their own, as both teams just looking to get clear just to start off this game and then split off into the lanes.
And we've got Junkrat and Zul'jin bot. Junkrat playing back a little, trying to play safe. We've got Rhaegar and Imperious going top, so that's the more true solo lane matchup here, but we do have some rotation between those bottom two lanes back and forth. It looks like we're going to see a traditional 1-4 split here.
Yeah, as Luxorian's actually looking again. They're able to catch out Richard there with a nice flip. However, a beautiful mine is able to help him survive on the side of Axon.
And that is the power of Junkrat. If you hit those mines, then you can provide so much value to your team. And that right there looks like it just saved Raynor's life.
Yeah, however, Luxorian's having a nice rotation here between the mid and bot lanes, as n0b0 is now, and because of that, looking to start by getting this bot siege camp.
And so what's interesting is in the top lane, which I do not think we'll see a whole lot of because it is just, you know, solo laners going at it. We do have Rhaegar holding his own pretty well against Imperious right now. He's actually got the wave clear advantage pushed up, but Imperious doesn't really get a ton of wave clear until 7 with that cleave. So it'll be interesting to see if Rhaegar can actually get the wave clear advantage and perhaps rotate down to create some 5-on-4 fights in the bot or mid lanes.
And you see him actually doing that right now as n0b0 is taking their camp right now here in order to respond to the mid camp already taken by Luxorian, and able to get a little bit more push going for that camp, but it has to go back top in order to get some more soak for his team.
Yeah, and I like the play there of Rhaegar sitting around just in case they needed to engage, get the 5-on-4, but it didn't turn out to work out too well for him that time. They didn't get a ton of value since n0b0 was actually just taking that siege camp. But still, I like the idea, and since he got back up in time for the soak, nothing was lost. So I like the rotation there, and I think it's interesting that they're utilizing this Rhaegar to great effect right now. I mean, this is if you get a weird pick like the offlane Rhaegar, you have to know what you're doing, and it looks like they actually know what they're doing with this.
Yeah, as now n0b0 is rotating to the top lane here, getting ready to start the shrine, which is activating in 5 seconds here. As their shrine clear is really relying on Junkrat here. Raynor not able to do the most. Meanwhile, Kerrigan will be able to get a ton as the game goes on. Actually not deciding to go Q quest.
That's interesting. Well, the Q quest was fixed. We don't have the bug, but also, I mean, it's strong. You want to build up that wave clear over time. They do force n0b0 off the point here, at least for the moment. So they'll start to take the lead in skeletons.
But now Virtuoso going in, now that Richard has rotated, or Axon's rotated up here, so they're going to try to get some damage on Bay. They're able to get him down to half health. But now Swoopster here is rotating around, able to get a little bit of poke onto Richard, but now Bay is looking for a re-engage here onto n0b0.
Yeah, so what was interesting there was at the start, watch out, this can be dangerous.
Yeah, Dragon Queen popped by Little Vex. Bay already really low here, but now they're trying to focus onto Ray and Virtuoso, trying to get those frontliners down, forcing n0b0 to back off here, and that will be the first objective picked up here by Luxorian.
Yeah, so at the start of that fight, you can kind of see that Swoopster on that Zul'jin and Richard Gere on the Raynor were just kind of fighting a 1v1 on the bottom bush right below the shrine, while the rest of the teams were fighting a 4v4. And that's a nice burrow out by Anub'arak, by the way. I'd like to call that out. But neither the 1v1 nor the 4v4 went seem to go much of anywhere, and then they grouped up to 5v5. Oh, hold on. Swoopster going down. That's a nice pick.
Yeah, nice mind by Axon to cut out Swoopster there as he went over the wall much to his chagrin, and n0b0 was able to get at least a little bit of value out of this first objective, as the Protector was only able to take down almost the gate as well as a tower, as both of these solo laners now rotating between mid and bot, trying to get more soak and XP for their team, and Luxorian looking to actually stay top here and get a little bit more push in that lane.
And that was a really impressive defense by n0b0, because that was an Arcane Punisher, and Arcane Punishers are the best, and they got about half the wall. I mean, they got a tiny bit of damage on the fort, and they got about half the wall, which is almost nothing for an Arcane Punisher. Sure, it's the first one, but still, that was a great defense, and it really helped that Junkrat was able to find that pick with his mind.
Luxorian here looking to put some pressure on the top lane with that Bruiser camp, but n0b0's going to respond with the siege in the bot lane, with only Rhaegar really here to clear, forcing Luxorian to have to rotate down in order to defend this bot fort.
Yeah, and that's right now it looks like the name of the game is just trade out the push. Right now Luxorian pushing that top lane, and n0b0 trying to push that bot lane. And we'll see, it looks like they're going to rotate towards mid. Diablo alone top could be dangerous if anyone comes up from n0b0, but right now he will be fine. And mid lane is quite interesting because Luxorian has already taken their camp, and so they're going to rotate up for pushing the top lane. n0b0 just now finished taking their camp, and it looks like there's going to be a big push in the top lane from the blue side.
Yeah, as Bay goes in onto Ray, as he's not able to get the flip though in time before Ray able to spear out. Virtuoso now rotating up, trying to see if they can save this fort here. So they turn onto the Bruiser camp, and Luxorian just going to back out for now.
Yep, and now both teams getting 10 at pretty much the same time. No real advantage. 10s. Ana going nano boost again. I'm interested to see who she's going to nano here. Junkrat, perhaps? A n0b0 perhaps? Because really, Shimmeraner is not going to get a whole lot of value out of it. Imperious, you could get more spears, but if you're going for the CC route, I think you go a n0b0. Although, and I don't know that the extra damage on Junkrat is necessarily enough to be worth it, so I think she may be going for the nano on a n0b0 here. We'll have to see.
Yeah, they have been able to actually get a ton of value so far with a n0b0 getting a ton of stuns, as Bay looking to put some pressure on Virtuoso here right now. So maybe they're looking to get a little bit more CC in order to lock up some of the members of Luxorian here.
Also, interesting to note, Rhaegar has still not picked his ultimate. And we were talking about that in the draft, whether it would be Bloodlust or the Ancestral. We were thinking maybe we could take that Ancestral. Since you have the Alexstrasza for the heals, you don't necessarily need it. So you just get the Bloodlust, you get that extra damage coming out. It will be the Bloodlust. So yeah, that's exciting to see if they can find some value off of that.
Both teams deciding to poke. Diablo popping his ultimate, but immediately gets cocooned as Virtuoso now living in the middle of Luxorian. A huge tire there.
Wow. Oh, and Lifefinder could not come out in time. Wow, big swing to the side of n0b0, but Dragon Queen is keeping Luxorian in the game for the Shrine right now, although the Alex will have to back off, it looks like. But, wow. I mean, that was the cocoon on Diablo immediately, and then that grip tire caused a lot of damage. That was a very well-played fight by n0b0 Esprouts, and they will win the Punisher off the strength of that fight.
Exactly. Even though they were able to bust out Bay out of that cocoon pretty early, still they weren't really able to get any APOC value as they are looking to dive onto Bay here after following up the Punisher here. He gets heal denied as they're looking to maybe finish him off, but Virtuoso not able to really do enough there, as now they look to go to work and try to take down this first fort in the mid lane.
Yep, and Imperious is here now. He was clearing top, but top is pushed out enough that he was able to come down. Almost gets the spear, but his target gets knocked out. And n0b0 got nano boosted, but still died.
Yeah, that was it. Actually getting some Bloodlust value here as the mid fort goes down. As Fatal Rampage is not over, but the poke damage there of Richard and the Junkrat just not forcing them to back off here, and possibly look for their camp.
So we did see just there the nano coming out onto a n0b0. I missed the nano in the first fight. I know it was used, but I didn't see exactly where. So I don't know if that was only because the Ana was panicked and was trying to get a n0b0 more cooldowns to escape, which he was still unable to do, or if she really thought that that was a fight they could continue on the strength of a nano boosted n0b0.
Yeah, I will note though, Bloodlust able to help secure the kill there. So maybe if they're able to get some value in the initiation with APOC there, and then follow up with the Bloodlust, they might be able to put up enough damage here, especially with the Zul Jin, to potentially get some wins with that here on the next Shrine phase.
Oh, Rhaegar in a little bit of danger, but not a ton. It looks like they're going to look for a fight. Oh, Cocoon popped. It might be best for Luxorian if they could just back off here, but there's a mine waiting for Diablo.
Yeah, as the tension turns on to Bay, they're forced to pop the bind in. Nice play there by Lobex in order to keep the Diablo alive, but here comes the Tire again, doing a lot of damage there as it's forced to pop Ancestral. Lex going so low, eventually falling. Now it goes on to the Rhaegar. Ray looking low, but Ana is able to do a huge amount of healing to keep him alive. As now Swoopster, the tension turns out to him. Virtuoso gets the knock up onto him. Littlebeck's trying to keep him alive, but it's not enough, as that's a 4K. Axid actually mining in there, seeing if he can get enough damage onto Littlebeck's, but it does not look like it will be enough. A big mine again.
That's another huge mine. And he'll die for it. He dies to the tower shot at the last second, and he can't secure the kill. And that's the only thing that went wrong in that entire fight for n0b0 was the chase went too far at the end and resulted in the Junkrat dying but not securing the kill. But what you saw there, and one thing I want to point out, although this is a interesting engage, the Luxorian will force n0b0 to back off. They will not steal that camp, and that's a good job to stop the bleeding by Luxorian there. But what you saw was Kerrigan was so low on the front line, Lux, but he couldn't back out. If you back out as Kerrigan, you're dead because you need those shields. And so Kerrigan had to stay in, did so, and died for it. But you have to figure if Kerrigan went out, she would still die. And it looks like the invade coming out from Luxorian, even though they're down in talent tier.
Yeah, but they're able to see Raynor in the bot lane having to clear that one bot lane camp. So they're able to push in here and steal the Bruiser camp. Now with double Bruiser camp.
Not down in talent tier yet. This is their last fight before they're down in talent tier. They are down a level, and 16 is right around the corner. Looks like they will have to back off before they're fighting at that 16 disadvantage.
Yeah, but a nice pickup there. So if they're able to get this Punisher, it's going to do a lot of damage and threaten that keep now. But n0b0 with that 16 are looking to get the engage. Virtuoso looking to see if he can separate. They're able to separate out Bay from the team as the tension goes on to them by Richard. Ray just harassing the backline there. Virtuoso goes trying to catch out, and it's their time for everything to get popped.
They got Bloodlust value. They got a kill off of it. Tyre doesn't find any. This could swing heavily in favor of Luxorian Sun if they pull this off right. We got a 5v4, and it looks like Lobo might have to back off here, and they will because they know that they don't have enough time to get in test for that Punisher, so the Punisher will go to Luxorian Sun.
And with that fort down now, they're going to be able to threaten to keep, as n0b0 just looking to try to see if they can quickly get these two mid camps in order to get some pressure going on the keep of Luxorian here. But it's going to come at the cost of some free push for Luxorian as they get to the keep wall very quickly.
This is a interesting play. I do think it's a good play. You do want that counter pressure, but the thing is that up 16, you can kind of force the fight here and try to get the defense because you probably just lose keep at this point if you are n0b0 because they backed off. They basically just gave up that keep to take those two camps, and it looks like the camps, they're at the wall, but they're not pushing the wall yet, and Luxorian will all back in the bush. Doesn't look like n0b0 is going to go up to try to stop them. So you gotta think, if you're n0b0, you just gave up a keep to get maybe the wall? I don't even know if they'll get that.
Yeah, Junkrat and Raynor have so much safe clear on the Punisher. I think they might have been able to potentially save that fort, especially because death timers are so low right now that n0b0 would have been able to potentially come back in time. But now they're looking, turn their eyes onto this bot fort to see if they can take it down before the next objective phase pops.
Yeah, and so it turns out they get most, but not all of the wall mid. They get the whole fort wall bot, and they give up the whole top keep. They can afford to make that trade right now, but they're honestly, even though they're a level up in XP, if you look at the map, it's starting to turn pretty blue. Red's starting to fall away.
Exactly, as now also n0b0 forced to commit 2 members to be clearing out Raynor in the top lane and Imperius in the mid lane just to try to soak up to 20 here. As Luxorian able to kind of run the map now that they have that keep down to put pressure in the top lane. So they turn their eyes now onto trying to get at least the last tower. Potentially now they're just going to clear and rotate back bot.
Yeah, and they will now see that there are several members in the mid lane, so they can really just step up here if they want, although they're currently hiding in the bush to see if they can bait them out. They're finding nothing, so they're going to go forward. They may be able to find this fort, because they should know, they know Raynor is in the top lane. They may know that Imperius is not here. They only see 3. It looks like they'll back up and wait for minions. They may back up fully, but it's an engage that they could take if they take it now.
Yeah, as right now, n0b0 is rotating down here to potentially take this fight here, as they're able to negate the value here of the Alexstrasza.
Out on the Junkrat. Big stun on 2.
Yeah, they're able to blow up the Alexstrasza here. Now the Riptire's looking to do a little bit more damage as the Cocoon goes out onto Kerrigan. It's Zul'jin forced to pop Tazdingo, but it's not enough to save his life or even get a counter kill in response, as now Lex just decided to go up here and trade out his life for the rest of the lives of his teammates.
Yeah, and so we were saying, I mean, we're talking about they could fight here, but the thing was, since they didn't fight when they could have, they waited just a little too long for that fight, and it allowed Imperius and Raynor to rotate down, and so all of a sudden, instead of taking the 5v3 to push their fort, you're taking a 5v5 under tower, and you're gonna lose that 9 times out of 10, if not more.
Yeah, Rhaegar up here taking this Bruiser camp, as there already is a very beefy lane with these 3 catapults in the top lane. However, n0b0 is just gonna be able to go easily onto the shrine here in the mid lane, or bot lane shrine.
Yep, and see, it's great that they managed to get the keep, because you can see that in the top lane, those minions for Lux are pushing in, and it forced Junkrat to go up to defend. He's rotating down now, but they have a very pushed out minion wave for that camp to push down. But now, mid's pushing out for the red team. Bot's pushing out for the red team. The Punisher's going over, and now there's a big fight breaking out.
Yeah, with that 20 advantage, n0b0, after capturing the objective, is able to go in and get the kill onto Diablo. Tyre's looking to see if they can get maybe a little bit more value here onto Lex, but it's just not enough. So now they have a Punisher, and this is going to threaten game here with that. Even though Diablo had souls, he's going to be really weak here, and they're not probably going to get a large engage ability as the jump goes out. Virtue also goes in to follow up, and they're able to just blow up Zul'jin. Now the attention's turning onto Fatal Rampage. He is able to get out, though, but now attention turns back onto the keep.
And that's actually very dangerous for Luxorian Sun. They're now down 5v4. They actually, if one more of them dies, this is game, and it might be dangerous. It could be threatening game anyway. They're down 20 and down a man advantage. n0b0 is going in here. Cocoon out onto Alexstrasza. This is very bad for Luxorian Sun.
Yeah, the Punisher's looking. Diablo is trying to see if he can catch anyone out with the APOC. As Lux is going on the back line. However, he's just going to get absolutely blown up. Now Punisher able to do his own damage of his own, as that is going to be game number 2 and the match going in the favor of n0b0 Esports.
So I just want to say real quick, I mean, first of all, good game to both teams, but I want to talk about that Riptire right on the last shrine that chased for a long time, and it was actually super smart play, and it was very subtle. I don't know if you necessarily noticed it, if the camera was following the team fight, that he saw that the Diablo was dead, and so he didn't detonate on the Diablo, and he turned to chase the Kerrigan. And while he clearly could not kill the Kerrigan because the Kerrigan was at full health, he did about half the Kerrigan's life bar, which forced Kerrigan to back, which got Kerrigan out of the start of the fight, which allowed n0b0 to push even harder because they had the initial 5v4.
Yeah, as in chat, we actually did get it correct. Bay saying in chat that they are banning all heroes alphabetically over the season, and I guess it was the L's turn, even with Lucio banned out. But that will be the game going in favor of, or the match, excuse me, going in favor of n0b0. As we're gonna look to see if we can maybe get one of their members in here for an interview and get into their mindset of that match, especially with the drafts. Even though they did draft a lot of the same things in between the two games, seeing what they might have liked on those two maps.
All right.
Meanwhile, looking at the match stats from the last game, Junkrat did an absolutely insane amount of damage, getting 84,000 damage there, more than doubling the damage actually of Swoopster on the Zul'jin. And he was able to just safely poke from fights, and then he had some absolutely massive tires to really open up and get that burst damage to get some crucial kills there for n0b0, Esprouts, excuse me. And then we also see Rhaegar curiously out healing the Alexstrasza there. Honestly, Fatal Rampage did an extremely good job, as you were noting early game, getting that clear advantage in the top lane, while also being able to do a substantial amount of healing.
I think also part of that healing is, like we said, the Ana against the Alexstrasza, just throw out the anti-heal in the middle of the circle, and boom, circle does nothing. Rhaegar doesn't necessarily have that problem. It's not the, hey, here's a circle on the ground that we're all going to stand in. Ana, if you want to throw your grenade, you can throw it right here. Yeah, it was more of a, Rhaegar's going to throw out the burst healing here and there. But so it's harder for Ana to just directly counter that by, I'm throwing my grenade into your circle and now you do nothing, which helps Rhaegar win that war of the stats against Alexstrasza.
Not only that, but Axson was able to get some mines even in order to break up some circles when the Ana grenade was down. So they had two tools at their disposal to counter a lot of the main healing of that Alexstrasza with the circle. And that was enough to successfully get the victory here in this match.
It looks like we've got Richard Gier in our lobby who is ready for us to interview. He played Raynor in both games, and so we can hop on over and see what he has to tell us. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
First of all, well played. Good games.
Thanks.
Great job. Nice wins.
Yeah. Fantastic games by you guys. Got a little bit closer there in game number 2, but you're able to really bring it back and make it a pretty dominant 2-game victory.
Yeah, I think game 2, us somebody dying right as we were trying to take a camp, and then they double camped the fort and pushed into the keep. It just was a bad little sequence, but it happens.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you were on Raynor both games there. Why did you guys prioritize Raynor here in these 2 games?
That's a good question. I don't know. They just tell me to play Raynor. No, the first game, I didn't feel like they really had anything to. I didn't feel very pressured. Like, I don't know. It's nice into Garrosh, I guess, like the cues to knock him back when he wants to come in and stuff. And I don't know, kind of the same thing with Kerrigan when she's trying to jump at me. So, well, I don't know. It's just feels comfortable in those situations. Just nice, consistent damage. So.
Definitely. And then, kind of going back to game number 1 there, you guys were able to get a pretty nice first protector and kind of snowball that into the second and then final protectors. Why do you think allowed for you guys to continue to just hold on to your lead throughout the game?
I think on the first protector, they had like, I don't know, like 2 people defending at top, so it got like a pretty heavy push. So I don't know other than that. And then just, yeah, I don't know, just winning the fights on the points, I guess, just made it easy for us. I don't know. It didn't feel too bad into the Garrosh, so we just took stuff to poke him down, and so when they tried to turtle, it's kind of hard for Deckard to heal a Garrosh through all that, so.
All right, so something I'm a little interested in.
What's up?
In the first game, you guys picked Raynor Jaina, and that's a classic. I mean, those work great together.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked great for you, and you beat him pretty handily. And then in the second game, you stuck with the Raynor, but you kind of switched it up and you went with the Junkrat. Is that just your other assassin was really feeling the Junkrat? You were mad at him because he wasn't giving you enough slows. You just like Junkrat on the map. Just talk me through what led to that pick.
Yeah, so in full detail, play by play, we said, "Hey man, you can take whatever you feel like," and he locked in Junkrat.
I mean,
I know that feeling.
he was able to do a ton of damage. He ended up more
Well,
than doubling everyone on the enemy team.
Nano Riptire feels pretty good, so we're never mad at a Junkrat when we have an Ana, so it was fine. I think we got a Nano on every Riptire, so it was nice.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that was one of the things when you guys drafted. I was interested to see if you were going to use the Nano on Junkrat for the damage, or if you're going to use it elsewhere. Because I did see one Nano boost go out onto an Anubarak while he was deep in the enemy team. And I didn't know if that was an accident, if that was to try to bail him out. Because
It was probably to try to bail him out, because
okay.
Vert was a little deep that game, yeah. But no, Bernie never nanos me, so I knew I wasn't gonna get it, so that only leaves it for the Junkrat.
Is that sadness when you saw from the other side that they banned Morales? Because as Raynor, your one hope in life is to get that stim drone.
Exactly. Yeah. Where's my my auto attack nano? Where's my stim drone? No, and yeah, we noticed you guys commented about the Cho'Gall ban. I didn't know they were banning alphabetically, so we just saw the Leo ban. We were like, whatever. I'm not in the mood, so just in case, whatever. So we just did that. We know that they, joke around and do a little bit of trolly stuff here and there, so we just went ahead and banned it out both games just in case. We just didn't feel like we were in the mood tonight to deal with that, just in case that was a play on. So.
Well, if you don't want to play against Cho'Gall and you don't want to have to use a ban on Cho'Gall,
right?
Another option.
Yeah. No thanks.
I mean, the last question for me tonight. You guys are now have a nice, comfortable lead on the top of Div A. Is there any team right now that really scares you as we start to look on the back half of the season?
Yeah, so we play I think 3 more bottom teams, or pretty low teams. But then we also still have Queens Consorts and Dread Pirates, so I mean I think those could go either way. I don't know. I don't watch much. I've never watched a game other than a replay of ours, so I don't know, but I think those two teams could beat us, so we'll see. We're cool with whatever happens, but
All right, I have a very important question for you,
what's
which
up?
is n0b0 Esprouts.
Right. Yeah.
Can I have some insight into the name n0b0 Esprouts and what the meaning behind it is?
Well, we're a big fan of all things sprouts. We plant the seed that sprouts us a win, and we try to do that every time we play. So we're about that sprout life, and it is what it is.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, well, I've got 2 more questions for you, and one of them is actually just me asking you if you have any shoutouts. But before we get there, I've got one last question. Are there any strategies that you plan to use going forward, whether they're real or fake, to throw other teams off, that you'd like to share on the air right now?
Oh my gosh. I am the most disgusting. Let me see here. What's my lowest hero? I'm the most disgusting Samuro player ever. And like, we keep banning Towers of Doom, but we're gonna let it through in the playoffs, and I'm just gonna be Samuro every time. And it's just gonna be disgusting. So we've been working on that a lot in our ARAM practices. So we'll be good to go.
All right, great. All right. So, Dad, if you don't have anything that I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the final question of the night. What are your shout-outs for us?
All right. Well, thanks to you guys for casting my team. Axon for he's on our roster, but usually it's Rag on the other DPS, and he couldn't make it tonight. So, Axon for helping us out. My team, the Esprouts organization, and all our Sprouties that help us along the way. So that's about it.
Sounds great. Great match for you guys. And make sure to look out for n0b0 Esprouts. As they said, they have a couple larger matches left on their schedule before going into playoffs. But very strong win today for you guys. So great performance, especially if, as you point out, you had that sub in. He did a great job today.
Yeah, Axon's mildly okay at the game, so, we were okay with it.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us this interview. So it's good to talk to you. Celebrate your win. We hope to see you again soon. Good
All
luck.
right. Later, guys. Thanks.
And that
All
will
right.
do it for tonight. Again, 2-0 there. Very strong performance by the Esprouts team. Any last words, Jax, Taxman?
Just like to thank everybody for watching. Thank our two teams for some good games. And everybody, we will see you in the Nexus.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.